Welcome back, friends, for Tier 1 Metrics Part 2. In the first video, I showed you how to use a run chart to track your Tier 1 metrics and provided you with a free download. So hopefully you were able to download that and follow along with the video and get your run chart rolling. In this episode, we're going to talk about the action line and what to do about it. So, linked to this video is another chart. It includes the previous run chart with an additional page, and this additional page has your action items. So as you look at the chart with me, you'll notice that this is the same chart that we used in video 1 with the first 5 days of data plugged in, and you can see the action line right here set at 97.5%. So we're going to go ahead and plug the month and year into the header. And for the site name, Acme Corp, Site 101. Now when you do that, you'll notice the next page auto-populates in the header with the same information. So here's our LRTC run chart, and you have this action line here. If you fall below the action line, and that's what this green arrow signifies, then you're required to take action and perform a root cause analysis and whatever your countermeasures are going to be. This is very important because the purpose of this line is to limit how much attention the team has to pay to solving problems. If you have too many problems to solve, you won't be able to solve any of them very well or very permanently. So where you place the line is important. Now, some companies will place this line at a calculated lower control limit based on an acceptable sigma level. That's a pretty good approach, particularly if you are manufacturing and you have an ERP that can provide this data fairly quickly. However, for most companies, that type of work is unnecessary. You can use historic data if you have it, or even just the best guess, to place the line somewhere where you will only have to take action about once a week. That should give your team enough time to truly root cause and actually solve that problem. Once you get to the point where you're not dipping below the line, then you move the line up. This is a rapid way to drive continuous improvement within your organization in a way that sticks and is permanent. So what do you do when you're below the line, such as right here on the 3rd? Well, you'll use this next page to track that. And so we're going to go ahead and fill out one of these sections. This is our corrective action tracker that will also be posted on the Tier 1 board right below the run chart. So in this case, the date is the 3rd of the month. Now I'm going to define the issue as missed LRTC percent 93%. And I'm just gonna clean this up by wrapping the text. In the owner cell, you want to have a specific name. This is the one individual who is responsible for making sure that the actions take place. In this case, since LRTC is an outbound metric, this will go to the outbound supervisor, which I'm just putting the title in instead of the name because we don't have names in this example. And when is it due? Now it's up to you to set due dates that are reasonable. The due date has to be late enough to provide the team with enough time to make real change. On the other hand, if you provide too much time, people's memories and access to data often gets fuzzy. For something like a missed LRTC, 24 hours is actually plenty of time, but it depends on the metric, and it depends on where you're getting the information and how long that takes. In this example, we're going to put 7/5/21. Since the missed LRTC on the 3rd would have been discovered at the end of the day or early on the 4th, that's 24 hours. In the notes section, you can put any notes that is relevant to this investigation. Typically, the notes will include initiate root cause analysis and present findings for action plan, or something similar. However, if there was a known special cause of variation, that should go in the notes too. For example, for LRTC, perhaps a trailer that was supposed to be on site for loading didn't show up because the driver had mechanical difficulty. You could go ahead and put that in the notes, but a root cause analysis still needs to be performed. It is not safe to jump to conclusions that this special cause of variance was actually the cause of missing LRTC, nor is it safe to assume that it's even a root cause. In the action square, this will stay blank until the findings of the root cause analysis comes back and the team has a chance to review the findings and agree on an action plan. In this case, the action might be work with shipping team to define backup plan for mechanical failure. The resolution square will only be filled out once the action plan is complete. In this case, the resolution might look like action plan has been documented and standard work instruction 101-1 includes backup plan for missing trailers. This information gives the team a record that's publicly posted that includes where to go in the future. And while they might not remember all of the details around this failure, they probably will remember that it's happened before and can look at the log and read which work instruction has the new plan, the backup plan. If you have a lean operation, this standard work instruction would also be posted in the standard work instruction area for quick access by the team. The closing date is the date where all the members of the team and management agree that the action plan has been put into place and resolved. In this case, the team was able to complete this action on time, and we enter a closing date of 7/5/21. Now, a couple of things here. The purpose of this action log is to define for the future what actions you took when a certain type of failure mode happened. We're going to talk more about failure modes in video number 3. For this video, it's sufficient to note that this public record allows you to check future failures against your previous actions. If you put these actions into place and still have the same failure in the future, you'll want to review if the actions taken actually worked, or perhaps they're not comprehensive enough and need to be revisited. At the same time, having a public record of the actions taken when you're below the action line provides the team with quite a bit of confidence and pride in the actions that they've taken to make their work a better place. So I encourage you to use this in conjunction with your run chart to track the actions you take when action is required of your team and track your continuous improvement over time. As with the previous video, I have linked this document for free download. Please avail yourself of that. And in the next video, we'll talk about failure modes, failure mode analysis, and how we can track that as well. Thanks for joining, everybody. I appreciate your time. Take care.